Hi, Curt.
Hi, Nikki.
Hello. 34 points, a season high for your bench against Dallas. Lexi had 16 of those. What opens up for her when she's coming off the bench for you guys?
First, Leja back. Ari was back, even though she was under a minutes restriction with her ankle. It was nice to be able to find some rhythm for Lexi in her natural position of the two. Early in that preseason exhibition games and even early in the season, we had some effective minutes with Lexi at the point guard. In fact, that lineup for a long time, even league-wide, with 5 of those players on the floor, was one of the more productive lineups. But Lexi was a facilitator and couldn't hunt as much for her offense. So really happy for her to see the ball go through the hoop. She's a tremendous shooter. So those 4 threes not only helped us get a very important home win, but, gave her a big, deep breath. So again, she's a very talented 2-guard, brings a spark off the bench for us right now. And again, just trying to get her back in a rhythm that, frankly, I contributed taking her out of because of out of necessity playing her different roles. So excited if she can build upon it. She did have a good first Vegas game, so excited to see how she'll step up tonight.
Coach Eric Hunt is the second Culver City Observer. Today, you guys currently rank 4th in team rebounding, and the Aces are 7th. Today's game features 2 of the more premier rebounders in the league, in Erica and Asia. Is winning the battle of the boards. How crucial is winning the battle of the boards today?
Yeah, real important. That first game, they had 10 offensive rebounds, so we'd like to, keep that lower. Obviously, we're going to get a spirited Aces team. I think you heard Becky talk after that last game. So we know the pride that's in that locker room. The pride in every locker room in this league. So we know we're going to get a spirited play out of the Aces from the beginning. So we've got to be ready for that. Points in the paint, the battle of the paint, the rebounding. Can we keep our fouls low around the rim when Asia's going to the rim? Is all a big part of success for both teams tonight. Paint is always going to play a big part.
Hey, Curt, 2-part question. First of all, how have Rakea and Cameron adjusted to this league? And the second part of the question is, what are some of the things that rookies have to deal with and maybe stumble across in the transition from college to the NBA or the WNBA?
Yeah, first, Rakea. So, really pleased, with how they've handled everything. They're high-profile rookies. There's a lot of social attention, a lot of expectations of drafting 2 lottery picks and building our future with the youth in mind, with those 2 as pieces of the puzzle. So first of all, they came in with expectations. They came in with a lot of fanfare, and they've handled it terrifically. What they have been asked as they help us grow our fan base and how they help us grow our footprint off the floor is a lot. And they're incredibly gracious with their time. They're tremendous in the public and the community and with their fans. So I can't be more pleased. We have 2 tremendous character rookies. Their play, as most rookies, is at times a little bit inconsistent right now. Shortest training camp in the history of the league. We're in a tough cadence of games because of the Olympic year. So their learning laboratory is in games a lot. And that's not easy to do when you're learning in front of 10,000 people every night. That's pressure and anxiety. And so you ask, what are some of the things that they have to learn from? Well, they have to learn from the physicality. They have to learn in game with a lot of pressure on them, with a lot of eyeballs on them, with a lot of people writing about them. And they've just handled it with a ton of grace. We've given them grace. So just excited about the future. Cam is impacting us night in, night out defensively and with her motor. Offensively, She's got more in the tool bag than maybe what she's been able to show consistently, but you see flashes of it. Rakia, opposite, a really impactful offensive player that can go get you a bucket when plays break down. She has the ability of putting the ball in the basket. Defensively, hard because she's playing two positions. Not only is she seeing the physicality and the athleticism at the three, then she's guarding fours, and that's the best position in the world in women's basketball right now, are the incredible fours around this league. So not easy, as a veteran playing two different positions, but she's playing two different positions as a rookie. So just can't be more pleased. And the consistency will come, and they will continue to get more comfortable and grow and get better. But they're tremendous in our locker room. Our players love them, and we're very fortunate to have them.
Coach, I'm wondering, how do you mentally and physically approach this game when you know that the Aces are going to be without 2 of their 4 Olympians?
Yeah, thank you for reminding me that they have 4 Olympians. Yes, I think, for us, this league has incredible players from top to bottom on rosters. And it's these situations that are the unintended consequences that open the door for pros to really take advantage of an opportunity. And, my career in Connecticut was the unintended consequence of an injury opening the door for other people who are now all-stars because of a situation like this. So, players are now ready to step up and replace that. So, we're going to see a lot more of Tiffany Hayes tonight, right? We know how good Tiffany Hayes is. There's going to be more minutes for Kate Martin. There's going to be more minutes for Megan Gustafson. There's going to be more minutes for Sid Colson. And, now does Kelsey and Asia try to shoulder even more? And they go try to get, I believe, you're going to see them go try to get 50 or more between those two tonight. And can we keep those two under 50 combined? You watch them win a championship when they were down in numbers and injured, and you watch Kayla George and other people last year step up. So like any team around the league, that players are going to be ready, and Vegas will be no exception tonight.
Hey, Coach, DJ from Infinity TV. A couple games ago, we talked to you, and there was a little bit of frustration around how aggressive the team was playing and how hard the team was playing. In the last game, we saw a change in that. What was the conversation going into today's game in the locker room with just coming out and playing as hard as possible for the first half of the game?
Yeah, I think, from the Minnesota game to the Dallas game, there was a lot of pride. Simple conversation as much as possible is remember who you have across your chest and what an opportunity that we all have to be called Los Angeles Sparks, coaching staff down to the players. And we played with more pride. We played with more physicality. We played with more urgency. So we've talked about that urgency again tonight. We've talked about how we're going to get a spirited Aces group. And so again, this league, you just watch New York, who's on a winning streak earlier today, playing great basketball, playing against Washington, and it's anyone's game, right? It's anyone's game in this league at any night. So you've got to lay it on the line. We've got to play with a bunch of physicality, a bunch of pride. And it's not easy to play all these consecutive games, but we have to find the energy that it takes to beat a team like Vegas.
Hey, Coach, Jackie Ray TV. You talked before about this is a copycat league. People are running the same buckets of play, but the physicality is different. Have you talked to the team? How are they going to level up a little bit more physically in this game, especially going against a team like the Aces?
Yeah, again, you can talk about it, but they've got to go out and execute it. I think we're prepared. I think they're energized coming off of that win. We know that we're going on the road after this game for 7 straight road games. Don't get me started on how to pack for that. So It's an opportunity to hold serve at home, which is important. I've always preached how important home court advantage is in protecting home court as you build teams. And we don't have the record at home that we would like, but we can't look back. We've just got to keep moving forward and really try to protect home court. And we know some of the things that you mentioned that's going to take tonight.
Hey, coach, when you're going up against a player like Asia, what's the message to the team kind of when you have a player at that level?
Yeah, we got to give her different looks. It's not one person guarding her. You don't guard the superstars with one person around this league. You can jest. That's anyone that's been around me know that's our, first pillar in our defensive approach, that we try to shrink the floor. We try to make it look congested. So we've got to give her different looks throughout. And then the hardest thing about Asia is keeping her off the foul line. And so can we find a physicality that will be allowed by the officials, and at the same time try to keep her off the foul line? But if we play her the same way for 40 minutes, she's too talented. And then also, like, if Asia gets her points tonight, and we make them as difficult as possible, like Enrique, a little different for post players, but if you can make them be a little bit inefficient or take a lot of shots to get their points. Again, I forget the stat now, but I think Enrique scored 44 points on 58 shots. So we take that any day. If Asia gets 30 tonight, but she had to take 22 shots or 20 plus shots, we might take that because of the efficiency or non-efficiency. So, but if she starts to have a big night, we can't let anyone else have a big night. So, we read that in kind of the chess match within the game.
Thank you, Curt.
Okay, last thing I'll say, hey, Pride Night tonight, obviously very special to me. I'll talk about this at the end of the game also, but for 22 years, as a longtime Division I head coach and then pro coach, I remain the only out gay male head coach at D1 or pro basketball, men's or women's, college men's or women's, G League, all included. And so I really take my role seriously. I become more popular this month. But, it's in all seriousness, it's like, it's really important to me to continue to provide visibility and representation to the coaches behind me. I didn't have a role model. I didn't have someone that I could call and reach out to navigate as a gay male in sports. And I've watched so many gay young men in basketball, both men's and women's, including the NBA and G League, drop out of chasing their dreams because there's not a lot of visibility or representation beside myself. And so I'm going to try to keep carrying that banner until the decision makers open the door more and advancement is possible for young gay men that are in the sport of basketball. We are losing too many because they don't see advancement opportunities, and they've only seen me for 22 years. And I am hell-bent to keep plugging away so those barriers are broken down for others. And personally, as someone that's recently out of a relationship with an active pro athlete, knowing what they still worry about in a pro men's locker room and just wanting to be one of the guys, and watching them potentially struggle is really difficult for me, and understanding that it is really hard still for men, active pro athletes, to be themselves in that locker room. And I can't wait till the day that changes.
Thank you.